Hi, Sanne, and welcome to the Bamboo U podcast. Thanks for joining us here. I guess it's this morning, your time, since we're not actually here. You're there and I'm here. But thank
Yes.
you for joining us, and it's a real pleasure to have you today. So, Sanne, I heard that you recently came back from the first ever European Bamboo Expo. And I heard that you met some Bamboo U alumni there.
Hi, Oren. Good morning. Yes, the European Bamboo Expo was last weekend, and we had a really good reunion there with a lot of Bamboo U alumni and facilitators as well. So I met Dennis Bloemer there, Vince Matt, and some of the guys of my group. So Kevin, Chris, and Glenn. So yeah, we had a really good weekend to talk some extra bamboo.
Amazing. I'm so sorry I missed it, but I'm
Next
glad
year.
that. Yeah, I hope so. We'll pencil it in.
Maybe
I'm
we
really
can shift
glad.
it to Malta.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just it's a
Yeah.
quick have an excuse to go see the relatives. So I'm really glad to hear that bamboo is, reaching its way into Europe. But I know that today we're actually going to be talking about your work, not just in Europe, but also in Uganda, in Africa, where
Yes.
I know that there is so much potential. So, Sanne, my understanding is you are an architect, and you're a Bamboo U alumni, as we've kind of touched on, and we had the privilege of having you here with us last year. To join us for an in-person course, and you've also done the online course, and I saw that you did a whole concept design for a beautiful get to know bamboo center in Uganda, and now you've gone on to make a treatment facility. So why don't you tell us a little bit why Uganda, and what got you into the bamboo movement as an architect?
It's starting to get a long story, but I've always been interested in building with natural materials from graduation on. So while graduating, I was focusing on building with earth, and then after graduation, I thought, okay, let's find a way to get more education. It was in 2014, and online I found you guys in Bali already back then. But I was just graduated, so I didn't have the means to go to Bali. And so I just kept on reading and being interested. And I found a project in Tanzania where I worked with earth. And after coming back from that, I got this job at this Amsterdam-based office, BKVV, where they work on African projects. So I was like, okay, that's close enough. I'm in Amsterdam, but still working on African projects. And we did that some years, and then we were working on this National Teacher College in Uganda. We've already been working in some other countries, but Uganda seems to be the place where most clients reach us, and where the interest in building with natural materials is the highest. And across of the site, on the other side of the road, there was this big bamboo forest. So my colleague proposed to the client, let's do the pavilions out of bamboo.
Wow.
And everybody was excited, including us. But my colleague said, okay, Sanne, I propose bamboo, but we've never built with bamboo. Could you dive into it and find a way how we can build actually these pavilions out of bamboo? So I was super excited. So I could try to learn as much of building with bamboo as possible. And as we had to deliver in, of course, 2 months' time with the mock-up and the design and structural engineering all at once, we hadn't time to go to any course or something. So I just learned a lot from videos, blog posts from you, a lot of books, and watching a lot of photos just to figure out how all the joints were working. And we did it. We built the first pavilions over there. And that was only the start. Super inspiring, but that's how we got into bamboo in Uganda. and everybody was excited. Everybody said, "Oh, we want a building from bamboo as well, and can you make something for us the same way?" And okay, it's growing here, so let's do something with it.
That's so interesting that that everybody was excited, because that's, you know, so it's exciting, and it's exciting for me to hear that and it sounds like because you're working, you know, in Uganda, it sounds like you're a client for Pavilion, but tell me a little bit more about like the local stakeholders in that, you know, in that context, because often, you know, when you bring bamboo to somewhere where there is lots of bamboo, but it's not necessarily widely used as a building material, there's a lot of pushback, being like, well, no, that's not actually a real building material, and so tell me a little bit about what's it been like working with the people on the ground there.
Well, what we experience is that bamboo isn't used at the moment as a building material, but a lot of people are interested in building more sustainable, building more with natural materials and eco-friendly, and so that's a vibe which is growing. And well, the forest industry is a problem because deforestation is a big thing as well in Uganda. So they are looking for alternatives, and that's where the bamboo comes in, and they see a potential in it. So from, hey, we can use it in this way. So it's more on the architectural and design and client level that people see, hey, it's something new and it's something local and it grows here, so we can do it ourselves. So it's really, yeah, the vibe is growing up doing something with bamboo. So we really want to be part of that and let it grow when this energy is growing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I want to talk a little bit about actual implementing the project, because, you know, the actual designing and building of the building is only a small part of the overall system that, like, we need to
definitely
establish.
Yes.
So I want to jump into that, but before we do, I'd love to learn a little bit more, like, about the client that you're dealing with.
Our architecture firm is BKVV Architects, and we work with a local firm Kwafundi, and we are part of the network Bamboo Uganda.
Okay, amazing. And so who's commissioning, like, the first, you've built a pavilion already, so you've already kind of started, there's a proof of concept.
That was governmental, so the government is renovating all these national teacher colleges, 13 over the whole country, and we were chosen to do 2 of them. So in the end, the client was the KCCA, so it's the municipality and the government, combined with the Belgium, how do you say it? The people from Belgium coming in to do support work over there. So so it was a combination, and that's those Belgian people are really enthusiastic. So they want to go on with it, to make a bamboo pavilion and to go on and just explore what bamboo can do. And at the same time, a lot of local clients, private persons, are seeing the possibilities. So we are now working on a design for a house in Fort Portal, where she says, okay, that's super cool, I want something like that. So the principles we've used for renovating the other buildings, combined with the bamboo, we're going to do it there as well. And there are many people starting their own farms, because of INBAR is implementing a lot of smallholder bamboo farms, enabling them to start growing bamboo. And also those people say, yeah, okay, if I'm going to build something, yeah, I want to do it with my own materials. So how can we do that?
Amazing. So you have you really have all the different pieces that we talk about coming together, where you've got the knowledge base that's growing. That, you know, it's exciting to hear that even all the way from Bali we're able to contribute a little bit to that. And so you have your work and you as the architect coming in with your team, and then you also have the government, both in Europe and also the local Ugandan government are supportive and actually putting
Yeah.
putting their money where their mouth is with sustainable development. And then it sounds like the community also is quite receptive because you're getting private clients already from what started as a government initiative.
Yeah.
Which is really rare, actually. Like here, almost everything is private. We did our first government project after 10 years last year, at the beginning of this year. So it's really exciting to hear that. And so I think that's a good segue. Tell me a little bit about what it's been like to actually help set up the supply chain and all the necessary things, because for anybody who's listening who doesn't know a lot about bamboo, we talk about bamboo buildings, but actually there's a lot that goes into building a bamboo building before we even get to the point where we're able to draw something or engineer something. So tell me a little bit about what it's been like to actually, find the bamboo that is preventing deforestation and harvesting that bamboo and then setting up the treatment facility.
Yeah, that's the big challenge at the moment. Designing and constructing, it's really the end. And so we see it like we are like a chef of a restaurant instead of like the chef of a restaurant really grows their own herbs and vegetables in the garden. And we see it the same way for us. We are architects and we want our own materials to have high quality. So we start at the farm to grow our own materials, bamboo in this case, and make sure that it's high-end quality. So we're really going to the farming at this point. So I can leave being the being the architect, and we're going to scratch to make sure that the nursery is growing a lot of healthy seedlings into high quality bamboo, and so that will take a lot of years. So at the moment we are working together with smallholder farmers and a few bigger plantations. But the challenge is management. So the knowledge about how to maintain these plantations or small farms is not present. And so INBAR over the last few years really gave out a lot of small bamboo plants. So bamboo is growing here, but harvesting them all at once is something that still happens. And then you lose all your poles. The clear cut, damn, and then it's all gone. But we've got this organization, which I already said, Bamboo Uganda. And it's a network of people to work together in the whole chain. So we start with the nursery, we've got the factory, we've got building and construction, which is our responsibility, and we are going to do something with carbon credits. And so we really have to start with those, with the nursery. So at the moment for our research, we are putting up a database of the whole of Uganda to know where the bamboo is, because we've built the first projects with just the bamboo across the road, and we could treat it, but we needed to make a treatment facility. So it was just really all short-term actions, and now we just have to establish the whole chain. So we're working on all these levels, which hasn't much to do with architecture anymore, but it's fun because you're creating your own building materials and make sure that the supply chain is strong and your supply is you can rely on your supply. So we have to make sure that we've got enough bamboo. That's something. So we're working on getting more asper. A lot of asper is growing there, they say, but we are not sure if it's real asper because it looks quite different. But it's stronger.
Someone's planted Dendrocalmus asper in Uganda.
Yeah, many people.
That's our bamboo, right? From Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
So what other species are you working with? Like, what are you planting? What are you harvesting? And what's being, what options, what's on the menu, so to speak?
Yeah, our menu gives you first. The main dish is still Bambusa vulgaris. So they started with Bambusa vulgaris a lot of years ago. It seems to be a strong type of vulgaris because yeah, while constructing, it seems to be super strong. Also, the diameter can go up to 8 to 9 centimeters. So it's a big thriving species here. But at the same time, we are looking for bigger diameters. So a lot of Asper is already being planted, but it's not mature yet. So we have to wait what that will be doing. And the species growing in Uganda are Oxy and Eugenia, and those ones also have some capacities for building which are very attractive. So we have to find a way to work together with the government to be able to use those species as well, not from the wild, but yeah, see if we can get them to the plantations, because the ground is super fertile in Uganda. Everything grows very fast. So we really would like to get to be able to use Oxy and Eugenia as well.
Wow. So I mean, so you've got four. You've got at least three, and potentially, if the Asper comes through, you've got 4 different species to work with. And yeah. just out of curiosity, you know, since I know now you're you know becoming a self-proclaimed bamboo farmer or maybe agronomist, but as a architect, how has your knowledge of bamboo and joining in this process of understanding how it's grown and harvested influenced how you think about the future buildings that you and your firm are interested in doing?
Yeah, we have to adapt to the species that we have. So we really have to go testing how we can make these building elements that suit our bamboo species. Because when you look to Southeast Asia with all your Asper, and when you look to South America with all the guadua, yeah, we don't have them yet. So we have to build with a little crooked bamboo sometimes, so make crooked designs, and we'll get there. And from there, over the years, we'll grow more straight bamboo, because if we maintain all the plantations very well, we can get more straight Bambusa vulgaris. And over the years, we will learn how to work with our species. And yeah, we need just a lot of practical knowledge just to start building with it more than we already do. And but it's interesting if you are diving into all this farming knowledge. It influences your architecture as well, and it's good. It will ground your architecture.
Awesome, yeah. Because I'm just thinking about vulgaris. It's a really good I think case study, because we use Asper and Apus, and in South America they use guadua, but Africa actually has their own species that we know very little about. So you mentioned Oxy, and what was the other one called?
Eugenia.
So Oxy and Eugenia, which I don't know anything about because we don't have those here, as being, and I'm really excited to see how those species might influence or change how we design things. But beyond that, like vulgaris is such an interesting case study for how to design with as a round pole, because it's everywhere, right? It's like the bamboo that exists in every part of the world, and it's actually quite strong, but it's not straight, and it's not just like bendy, but it's also quite angular, and it also was never really used traditionally because it has a high starch content.
Yeah.
But once you start treating it, which you're doing there, and which you have to do if you're going to build with, all of a sudden it becomes something that's viable. So definitely very excited to see the first major building that is designed by professional architects but made out of vulgaris, which is something that we don't have here. Yeah. So that's really exciting. And good to see. Have you found that, based on what you currently know and what people on the ground are telling you, have you found that there's any, I'm just curious if there's anything particular about Africa and the bamboo industry that is starting in Uganda that is different or unique, or something that you feel will bring a big learning to you, but also to the bamboo industry in general?
Well, what we see is that the people are super practical and just start doing it, and so their enthusiasm is real. So I'm really looking forward to working more with the local architects and see how they will influence the whole design process. We already did it for the first one, and you could see that the people on the site were first like a little bit sketchy. What is this round material, and what are we going to do with this? Why not just use wood? And just after a few days, it was like, wow, this is an amazing material. I'm not going back to wood anymore. I just want to build with this one. It's much more inspiring. So I'm really curious to see if we just start building, what other people are going to do with it. And of course, I don't have the cultural background from Uganda, but we share. We share our knowledge and we share your experience, bringing it to Africa and see what will happen over there. And already some other people Ugandan friends are starting designing with it. And it needs some time. It needs some more time. The factory just opened a few weeks ago.
Oh, so wow, congratulations.
It's up and running, so everybody can order bamboo now, treated bamboo, to start building. And the questions are big. And that's the cool thing. They just go for it, literally on every level. So last year there was the festival Nyege, a big music festival, and they say, okay, we want to do everything in bamboo. So without seeing the proof that it works, they already say, okay, let's do it. And so we started with one big dome, and maybe this year there are going to be a few more. And that brings me to another project that we are working on. So the cool thing is that in Uganda we have to do a lot of work on the small level of construction and getting people to learn more about building with bamboo. But people dream big. So we proposed this big bamboo roof in the middle of the city. We're working on the old taxi park. The old taxi park is a central hub in a city where all the taxis come together. So a lot of people are gathering there and from there going on their big trips to the other side of the country. And it's going to change. So they want to improve this whole system, adding a market hall, adding parking, and then the old taxi park, the new taxi park on top. And they need shade. So we said, okay, we can make this big bamboo roof and provide shade with a local material. And the client, the municipality of Kampala, was excited. Let's do it. It's iconic and it's local. It will be the new face of the city. So it will not be there in a year or two. It will take some time because it's a big development. But they go for it. And they see the potential. They see that it can be something iconic for them. And most important, it's just really something of them, the local material. And so it gives the iconic look of the city a local face.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, so we're going to work on that super hard the upcoming maybe 10 years to make it possible, because with the bamboo we have now, it will be a bit challenging. But
how big
a lot
are we
can
talking
happen.
about?
9,000 square meters.
Oh wow, we're talking like really big.
Really big, yes, really big.
Amazing. So I mean, that makes a great goal, right? You can build the central taxi hub for Kampala in 10 years. Amazing.
Let's see if we get there. I'm curious what these 10 years will bring.
Wow. So I want to talk a little bit, about how Bamboo U and how learning from what's happening here in Bali influenced your work, Sanne. But before we do that, I have one kind of burning question that's coming up, and that is, a lot of people out there ask about, okay, I have bamboo. You showed me how to treat the bamboo. I get, I get how to treat the bamboo, but there's just nobody who knows how to work with it.
Yeah.
And nobody knows how to actually. There's no, even designing with it is one thing. That's actually easier to teach than it is to teach somebody how to actually build with the material in a lot of contexts. So I'm curious, how's that experience been? Because we talked about harvesting and we talked about treatment, and it sounds like that's kind of underway. We have the demand even from the government, which is super incredible. But what about the workers?
Yeah, well, we experienced, there's no experienced bamboo builder team yet, but we've got some exciting people. And what there is they are skilled. They're skilled carpenters with wood. So they're bold enough to just switch to bamboo. And they just try and they work it out. And in the beginning, we'll have to test a lot and try a lot. But these people are skilled with their hands. So they can learn easily. And they are dedicated to it. So we just have to do it many times. And from there, we will grow. And we start with easy joints. So the beautiful joints that are being made by Ubuntu, yeah, we're not there yet. But if we design in a certain way that the joints can grow up together with the experience of the builders, we'll be able to make bigger and bigger buildings. So it just goes hand in hand with the experience of the designs being built together with the joints and the skills of the carpenters. We will grow. So we start just slow and tiny, and we'll grow big and make some amazing buildings as well. Just
like the bamboo. So
yeah.
So it sounds like there is actually a strong wood culture, a strong carpentry culture, and enough open-minded carpenters to transition to bamboo. So that's really exciting. And do you? So you mentioned also that you don't actually use a lot of the types of joinery that we use that might be a little bit more technical. So tell me a little bit about some of these designs that you've been working on, and maybe a little bit about the ones that have been actually installed. Like what kind of system are you focused on given the bamboo you have available?
On the first one we did in the end, it was before I got to know the hyperbolic tower. In the end we made one as well with just 4 poles, just clicking them in together, and they stayed. So that was like, okay, this is something. And then later I learned on your course how to work with that, and it was like, hey, this small tower is the same. It's the smallest version, just 4 poles together. And so we integrate your knowledge as well, but we just go to the simpler versions. The first steps of designing joints, we'll use them, and work together a lot with just the round pole structures, connecting them in an easy way, not in the perfect way when you have the fist mount joints and stuff like that. We do them, but it's all still a little tricky. And we've got some steel there as well, but only in the joints. So it's all a little more bulky at the moment. So we have to design it in a proper way that. We've got the facade going in front of them, which happened at the pavilions. So you see more of the structure. So you can see how we built it. And over time it might be more elegant to not show everything and be more Ubuntu style and make the amazing facades and be able to do that. But we're designing it, and on site we have to see how far we can go, and that's the balance.
Yeah, amazing. And so you're you're finding simple ways to join it together, so you're not doing anything too complicated with the carpenters. So really focusing on maximizing achievable designs, and I think the hyperbolic tower that's in the Bamboo U course, as you know, and we really love promoting that because it's just so easy to get to a relatively high level of design with relatively low skills, right? Just by using some very simple parameters. So that's exciting that it's you're doing that there. Is there anything that you feel like will, from African culture and in particular from Uganda, like is there any cultural elements from Uganda that you think will be really important in that industry there that kind of are a good match? Like here we have here we brought in hyperbolic towers that were originally from Fryato, but we also really rely on like local carpenters who know how to do like thatch, and like people who have really good hand skills to make the fish mouth, and that really drove a lot of our decisions. And do you feel like there's anything that's like uniquely from Uganda that will really complement, or other materials or other techniques that are really from that place that will just really match with bamboo?
That's a big question. Let's see. For now, because we're still on such on the beginning, I have to see what happens in the architecture itself. But it's mainly in the people. The philosophy of Ubuntu, I am because we are, is big. So you start the groundbreaking ceremony with a celebration of dancing, and everybody is involved. And that's also what you already said, that when you hear me talking, it's like everybody is there and we've got all the elements. We just have to put them together to let the value chain of bamboo grow. And I think that's something special and particular for Uganda, that we've got all the minds on the same line, all the like-minded people together, and we just have to figure out how to continue. And fuel it by starting the factory now, and fuel it with new projects like the big dreams of the OTP. And by fueling this philosophy, which they already have and practice every day, we will get there together. So it's a long way, and definitely last year when I saw what you guys are all doing, I was like, okay, yeah, we've got some years in front of us, but I know it's doable, and I know the experience is there, and I feel that not only this philosophy is present here in Uganda, but it's more in the whole bamboo world, the I am because we are, because I can rely on the experience from other countries. Well, we rely on the experience of the other countries, because all together we will bring the knowledge to Uganda, how to set up this whole value chain. And so it really suits Uganda, the way the bamboo world works. In my eyes, it's just an open sharing world. So because we know all together that on our own we won't get there, we have to build together with bamboo. To improve the world and take better care of the world, and just to share this knowledge feels amazing that we can put that into practice in Uganda. So, and that the Ugandans are open for it. They're open-minded people, and they're open-minded, crafted people who are skilled, have a great skill of laboring. So. Yeah, it all has to come to a point where we can go into that architecture and find a way that an architecture way that suits Uganda. But yeah, the energy is present to go there.
Amazing, that's such a beautiful concept. Amazing. So Sanne, on that note, I think it's it's been really great to talk to you, and I think we should probably wrap it up on such a beautiful concept. But before we do, my last question is, if people want to learn more, or if people want to get involved with what you're working on in Uganda, what's the best way to do that?
You can contact me directly on socials or email. I think you can find it somewhere here. And yeah, we're always happy to talk about new possibilities and advise you on whatever you are doing and see if we can be part of our team. And because, well, you know, our dreams are big, so we need everybody on board. And together we'll be there. So we're open for every contact or talk that you would like to have.
Yeah, you have a giant metropolitan center to design.
Oh yeah.